Hello and welcome to another episode of All Cultures Are Beautiful. This time we'll be dealing with a crisis in the landlocked West African nation of Burkina Faso. Because Burkina Faso has a real problem. People keep stealing penises using magic, and understandably, the local men are not happy about it. In fact, they've begun to take the law into their own hands and lynch any man accused of stealing another man's penis. An example of this happened in 2014, when a man was killed by a mob in Koudougou, a town in central Burkina Faso, after being accused of making another man's penis disappear. As a local journalist reported, the lynching took place in the 10th district of Koudougou. It all started with a fight at a restaurant between two men, with one accusing the other of having cast a spell on him by simply touching him. The accused man was a foreigner, and his accuser called the police. But before the police could arrive, a crowd had gathered around them, and incensed, the residents decided to lynch the man in the middle of the street. The police arrived and did all they could, but apparently there were not enough of them to control the crowd's anger. And so the alleged penis thief met his demise in the middle of the town, for the high crime of stealing another man's penis using witchcraft. This is by far the only allegation of penis theft in Burkina Faso. The journalist says, "Since then, I have counted a dozen similar cases in the city, and it's always the same story. Someone complains about being approached and touched by a stranger, someone not from the neighbourhood. Immediately, the alleged victim complains of lower stomach pains, tremors, and say they can't feel their genitals anymore. This only happens with men, and I've been told of it happening in several different parts of town." Although the crowds were quick to anger and lynch the penis thieves, in order to discourage other alleged thieves, when doctors examined the victims of the penis thieves, they couldn't find anything wrong with them. As in, their penises were still intact. These allegations are not new and have been happening for at least 15 years in West Africa, causing nearly 300 deaths and 3,000 injuries in the region. Upon investigation, it was found that this is actually part of a scam, where con artists, usually in groups of 2 or 3, carry out this scam in 3 parts. First, someone who claims to have magical powers touches a victim and persuades him that they've stolen his genitals. Then another accomplice approaches the victim and drives home the point, saying that if the victim doesn't buy a specific product, he'll lose his ability to reproduce. Finally, the victim pays a hefty sum of around €45 for a Viagra-like medicine that is supposed to make his genitals work again. But in the defense of the poor, innocent and beautiful people of Burkina Faso, they weren't to know this, and lynching someone for stealing someone else's penis is probably a fair and appropriate punishment. I'm sure we can all agree.